This woman only wanted to marry a poor man, but she was so good at bringing fortune to her husbands that all four of them either got rich overnight or became household name celebrities. Finally, she managed to marry a farmer who worked the land. But right after the wedding, he struck oil on his property. Lisa looked on in despair. She never imagined it would be so hard to stay poor. Lisa was born into an ordinary family. Her father taught her from a young age that money is the root of all evil, but her mother disagreed. She hoped Lisa would marry a rich man, so she arranged for her to meet Alan, the son of the wealthiest family in town. His family owned a mansion, thousands of horses, and an entire commercial street, but Lisa didn't like Alan. To her, he was nothing but an arrogant snake. Alan, however, was captivated by her beauty. To show off, he took her for a ride and did some car drifting, splashing mud all over a man standing nearby. The man's name was Mike, the poorest person in the whole town. Even after getting splashed with mud, he wasn't angry. He just smiled at Alan, a pushover and broke. Exactly the kind of man Lisa was looking for. So she went to where Mike was fishing and staged a special chance encounter. With her beauty working in her favor, he fell for her quickly. When she told him she only wanted to marry a poor man, Mike swore on the spot that he would never be rich. That only strengthened her resolve to marry him, and they soon moved in together. After marriage, Mike stayed committed to his old routine, working only 2 hours a week, which kept him consistently poor. Then one day, Alan showed up at their house with a camera. When he saw Lisa getting soaked by water leaking from the roof, he filmed the whole thing and mocked them mercilessly. This lit a fire in Mike. After kicking Alan out, he told Lisa he was going out to buy some nails and left. When Lisa came into town, she found Mike working as a salesman. He was shouting that everything was just $5, a small profit on high volume. His creative sales approach made the business grow bigger and bigger. Eventually, he bought out Alan's commercial street and started his own company. After that, he became obsessed with making money. The more he made, the more he wanted. Cash piled up so high it wouldn't fit in the cabinets anymore. But the time he spent with Lisa kept shrinking. In the end, he worked himself to death. Lisa tearfully inherited his $2 million. But she wasn't happy at all. She just wanted a simple, ordinary life. So she left the house to her mother and moved away from that heartbreaking city. That's when she met her second husband, a struggling painter. He didn't actually paint himself. Instead, he directed an adorable monkey to do it. Lisa was fascinated by one of the paintings and asked if she could buy it. To her surprise, he flew into a rage and declared he would never compromise his art for money. Lisa loved a man with principles like that, and they were married soon after. After the wedding, they lived exactly the kind of life Lisa had hoped for. So poor they could barely afford food. The painter kept tinkering with his work and even built a machine that painted using sound. The only problem was it was incredibly loud. Lisa suggested replacing the drill with a record player. She put on Beethoven's symphony, and by the time the piece ended, the painting was complete. The very next day, her husband delivered some bad news. A wealthy collector had bought the record-made painting for $40,000. From then on, the painter became obsessed with creating art to different classical pieces. He grew richer and richer. Lisa found herself living in a mansion again, one of those despicable rich people. She finally realized she had a condition. She was cursed to bring her husband's fortune. One day, she suggested they take a trip, but he was too busy conducting the machines. When the painting didn't turn out right, he walked between the mechanical arms to direct them more closely. Then disaster struck. The machine caught him by the neck and killed him on the spot. Once again, Lisa became a widow. Heartbroken, she tearfully inherited $4 million and prepared to leave that painful place overnight. Little did she know, the third husband she would meet would be even more desperately poor.